Hello out there, this is Cammie White and you're listening to Rushdown Radio.
Hey, welcome to the Decade Review of Rushdown Radio. I'm Michael.
And I'm Anthony.
We're going to be counting down, well, not counting down, we're going to be going through the greatest hits and misses of last decade.
Oh, boy.
In gaming.
It's so much.
There was so much garbage that happened last decade, like, to be honest. I mean, there was some great stuff that happened too, but some trash.
So much garbage.
Landfill.
Hopefully we leave most of it behind in 2020.
I don't know, man. I ain't looking too good.
I said most.
We're day one, and already I'm not looking too bright about this.
Well, let's start off with something that we know is pretty dead.
Okay.
And that's Anita Sarkeesian.
Oh, yeah.
And how her actions, along with the likes of people like Zoe Quinn, sparked Gamergate.
Yeah. So give everybody like a quick rundown of Gamergate. Just like a really quick one.
Gamergate, depending on who you ask, is either the movement in which people are challenging the integrity of game journalists and saying, you guys suck, we demand better, or it's a way to harass women through the guise of wanting better journalism. Like I said, depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
Where do I stand? Yes, it's a thing.
Yeah. I think Anita Sarkeesian, she was, while I didn't agree with some of her rhetoric and some of her context with some of the stuff she was doing, I did like the fact she was trying to make light of some of the stuff in the game industry that she felt was in need of a change. That I agree with.
She's a scam artist.
I mean, yeah, it's that too, because I felt like she kind of like came and went. Like once she got her money and did a couple of videos, she was kind of like out of here, like, all right, peace, deuces. But it could have been because she felt like she was being, well, she was harassed. I will say that.
Oh, man.
She was heavily harassed.
For a while, she was the most hated person on the internet.
Yeah. She's trying to stop her games.
She wants her games to be bad. Yeah. Why do you hate video games? Whore.
the horror part, I'm mad. That was like probably way worse than that when she got people talk to her.
Oh, God, I'm sure she's posted some of the threats she got, and whoo.
She got death threats too, and she had people talk. They're gonna shoot up schools that she spoke at.
They're gonna shoot up. They're gonna find her. I'm not repeating the things that were said by these guys.
I think that Gamergate got convoluted a while because it was trying to tackle two topics at the exact same time, and sometimes those things can't be done in tandem, especially when they're a little bit contradictory to each other. Because while we did want better journalism, we shouldn't be harassing people to get said better journalism.
No.
So it's kind of hard in one token to be like, we need better journalism. The other token, you're harassing people to get better journalism. That's just not the way. And that's why Gamergate became such a huge like thing for a while.
Oh my goodness. It looks like she's still doing stuff though.
Yeah, I watched a lot of her videos because I wanted to just have a really good context of what she was talking about. And it was always really like, things taken out of context, things just like extrapolated and made bigger than actually what they were. It was just like, did you play these games? Did you watch a walkthrough? Like, what did you do here? Did somebody give you a clip and say, okay, I'm going to use this 10-second clip and make a whole 10-minute video out of it? Like, I would agree. I would be more inclined to believe her rhetoric if she not even if she played the game, she actually watched somebody play them. So I think that she could still get a good idea of a game, except contextually, if you at least watch somebody play it.
Dude, she's still getting so much money. Like, just 2 days ago, she raised $25,000.
For what?
Initiatives.
To do what?
Let's see. New initiatives designed to challenge and change the culture of sexism in the gaming industry.
Okay, that's fair. Because there definitely is a lot of that.
I'm sorry. That number is 27,500. My mistake.
So is she doing this more so like in the actual like game making?
I don't know what like I said, I have not kept up. Like, I'm only looking up her stuff now. So who knows, man?
Maybe she's on the Colbert Show. The episode was fun. That was a big deal.
I remember she was also invited to like the UK.
Yeah, it's
not the UK, the UN, United Nations.
She made her way around.
Let's see. Oh goodness. I don't know who Anna Kendrick is. I have no idea who that is.
Anna Kendrick, she's an actress.
Apparently she's the girl boss of Christmas. Life is Pain, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and How Not to Do a Female Action Hero. Where Are All the Women in Star Wars? The Mandalorian. Our Take on Terminator. Blah blah blah. Just a bunch of stuff.
So she's moving away from just video games and moving towards like pop culture and movies and stuff.
Well, she has identified herself as, let me pull up her official title here, feminist media critic.
That's fine. I think that's better. That's a better suitable title than just making the game industry like her singular focus.
Yeah, you know what? I'll take that.
So I think it's easier to do like a movie versus like a 40-hour game or something. Like, I think that's a little tougher sell. But watching a full 2-hour movie, you can definitely critique and deconstruct stuff in movies than you can a game. Like, that takes way longer.
Yeah, games at minimum are like 5-6 hours.
Yeah. So,
and particularly the ones she was trying to tackle, those are minimum like 8 to. They can range anywhere from 8 to maybe 50.
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to do that. So, yeah, I think this is probably a better, like, move for her, too. But Gamergate was quite a bit of a ride, though. Like,
oh, man,
there were stories every day about it.
Like I said, that started from the whole Zoe Quinn and the accusation that she was sleeping with a journalist.
Right.
To get positive PR to one of the games that she developed. Whether or not that turned out to be true or not, I don't know off the top. I don't remember.
Allegedly.
So we'll say allegedly for the time being. If anybody knows that was confirmed or not, let us know. But
yeah,
the time being, I mean, she was no perfect person. Let's get that out there right now.
That is true too.
She was far from perfect.
Yeah,
she was kind of trash.
That is true.
However, doesn't mean that she deserved that harassment.
None of it.
And it just became such a big thing, man.
It really did.
People who spoke out against Gamergate were doxxed and harassed.
Mm-hmm.
And it only made the movement look worse.
It was quite a kerfuffle, to be honest.
Some people actually believed in the original cause, but then there were other people who just wanted to use it as a vehicle to harass others.
Yep.
It was a mess. Hell, remnants of Gamergate last on to this day. There's still a thing.
Really?
Yeah, there's some remnants of people who still talk about Gamergate, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's but hey, maybe it'll never die out completely. But as long as they're not, chain harassing people or something, then let them do their thing.
Yeah. Last decade was, we didn't even start really. We already.
Oh, that's the first topic.
That's the very first topic. I'm already like, oof.
Some of these get lighter. We just have a list that we kind of just threw together, honestly, and we're just gonna go down the list. Yeah, this is not chronological order.
It's not. It's from different times and different years, but it's all from last decade. So
yes. So now, Star Wars Battlefront 2 and the push for government intervention.
I'm so mad at that game, but they somehow landed with a good game at the tail end of the decade, like literally the tail end of last decade. They finally got there, but boy, to get there was the hard part.
Oh, EA, we'll talk more about you as a company later. But this specific game, right?
Man, Battlefront.
When it released, even in its beta stage, where you could buy star cards and make your characters broken, it was basically pay to win.
Yep,
and it was so egregious,
so busted,
so terrible, that the government started looking at this and saying, maybe loot boxes are shit.
Maybe they are bad.
Maybe they are garbage. And they were right.
Yes.
So this, oh my God, it was a slow thing, and then it just exploded because we all thought, you know what, the technology is never going to catch up with the legislature, but no. Now, once Star Wars happened, because it's such a high-profile game.
I mean, Star Wars is a huge IP. Disney's behind it now, so it's even bigger now.
And Disney was very not happy with them, by the way.
Of course not.
And some people say that not even the government trying to threaten them is what made them take it out. It was Disney.
Disney has a big foothold over media and entertainment.
Imagine
You're
being
not gonna do
more
that to
afraid
me.
of Disney than the government.
The Disney will be the government if we keep playing.
Right, Disney gonna buy them up.
Go buy the government.
Said, man, you know what? These mouse hats are mandatory. If you don't have Disney Plus, you getting detained.
Yikes! I mean, I would hope they would get a free Disney Plus if they work for
Or
them.
maybe it becomes like a tax. Like you get the Disney Plus tax.
Yeah.
And everything comes pre-installed with Disney Plus.
Don't want that future. But Battlefront, I remember the very first one was already like egregious and disgusting the way they did that
because it wasn't finished.
It was so and the price tag for the game too.
It wasn't finished. But see, this came out finished, but still bad.
Wait, wasn't it the game that had that different editions of it? Had different stuff you can get.
That's vague.
No, like if you like the special edition or the deluxe edition or the super special edition, you got like more stuff.
I think that was this game. It was one of many of those games.
I think this. I remember.
I'm pretty sure that was Battlefront because it did have like different editions of it, as well as a console release of it. You know, they had the Star Wars console, the Darth Vader PS4. Very nice, by the way. I wish I had one. But Star Wars. How did they think they were going to get away with this?
Wait, why did I put this in? It said roadmap. I'm scared to even click on that.
Well, I know that it had a roadmap and it's mostly finished. I actually saw that IGN reviewed Battlefront 2 again to see if it has improved. Apparently it has. I don't really know. And I kind of don't want to invest the money to see if it's good now or not, even though the money is probably about $5.
That's true. The roadmap. This is gross.
Matter of fact, I am going to. Oh, we'll talk more about roadmaps in a bit.
Okay.
But let's see. I'm actually gonna go look up and see how much it costs to get Battlefront 2 today from GameStop.
Hopefully, like the $3. That'd be great.
Let's see.
If it's over 10, I'm not paying it.
Let's see. Battlefront.
I'm just not giving them that much money for that game. You know, I do want to play the Rise of Skywalker. How much is it?
Man, I thought it was actually $5. It is still kind of way too pricey. Oh wait, no, it's like $10 on PS4.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's $10 on PS4.
That's okay. I could do that probably. I might do that if I'm in the mood. But I want to get Fallen Order before I get that.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, $10.
All right, that's not too bad.
I don't even see the price for the PS. Oh, what? The Xbox One is $10 pricier than the PS4 one? That's weird.
That's really weird. Usually it's the other way around.
Yeah. Oh, well. Good thing I got the PS4.
Yeah. All right, what's next? I know we're doing this actually like on our list.
Yeah, maybe we should have done this chronologically, but come on, man.
That ain't us.
You right.
Y'all ain't come for that.
We just do this thing. Fortnite.
Oh, God.
And its influence
On everything.
Literally everything.
Jesus Christ.
You know how many times a day I hear about a kid talking about Fortnite?
Oh, my God.
Buying PSN cards for Fortnite. The memes of Fortnite and the dances it is inspired, quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Stolen. Not theirs. Pay the royalties. Ugh, I had a really bad cough.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You got it? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Just need, I might need some water later.
Okay.
But I'm good. But man, Fortnite, what a game.
So when Fortnite was first shown, it was a way different game.
Oh, Fortnite saved the world?
Yeah.
That was a game I was actually interested in.
Yeah, I remember.
But it wasn't very good.
I remember when what's his name? Cliffy B was still working at Epic. I think he was the one that showed it all first. Like, you're making this really new game and new experience, Fortnite. Like, oh, okay, that sounds cool, I guess.
But then, what was it? PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds was kicking around in early access.
Yeah.
And it was probably the most popular game at the time. And then they were like, hey, What if we did that, but better?
Yep.
And so they did. And now we have children with all sorts of Fortnite merch, Fortnite toys, Fortnite books, Fortnite guides.
The Fortnite guides are weird. It's randomly generated everything, so I'm not sure why there's a need for that. Maybe I'm missing something.
It made one of the biggest Twitch presences ever.
Yeah.
And Ninja. I mean, he's on Mixer now, but whatever. You get it's because of Fortnite that we know who Ninja is.
It's because of him that streaming became a big deal too.
Yep.
Like they kind of like made the streaming thing. The streamer became a whole presence because of Fortnite. To be honest, like I think even before that, people weren't really watching like individual streams of like games that much.
Mm-hmm. It has a pretty big esports presence. I think the last time they had a tournament,
$3 million.
$3 million.
That little boy won $3 million.
And it tried to have other people do the whole battle royale thing to varying success.
Okay, I got one question.
Go.
I'm trying to remember if I got this correctly. Didn't Epic license out their engine to PlayerUnknown's?
Oh yes, that was an entirely big thing.
Yeah, I remember that.
They were trying to get them sued for that.
Yeah,
because they were licensing out the Unreal Engine to the people who were doing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, while also being competition to them.
That was so trash. That was so garbage. They make it. That's capitalism, as you know it.
I mean, nothing said they couldn't.
That's peak capitalism. That's a whole like conflict of interest.
Man, they doing the Fortnite dance on them.
Like you paying us as we beat you.
And what's crazy, if you don't understand how big this is, J.J. Abrams had a preview of The Last Skywalker that was exclusive to people who were playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
That is bananas.
It is. That's crazy. Like, not to mention they had that new, what was it, Rise of Skywalker DLC event for Fortnite.
They've had collaborations with the Infinity Wars.
Oh yeah, you could have
Thanos. Play as Thanos.
You could have dabbing and stuff.
They've had collaborations with Borderlands, which I mean, of course they did.
Of course.
What other collaborations are there? I feel like they've had more.
They've had too many.
Yeah, they've had a lot. They were doing a lot of work. We're at a point where people are having classes to teach you the Fortnite dances.
I hate it.
And it has inspired many a game. One of my personal favorites, even though it is no longer here because it was very short-lived, was Radical Heights.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Poor game. Didn't stand a chance.
It tried.
Some other game came out. The Culling. There it is. The Culling.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that.
Yeah, it was its own game, but then they came out with a sequel that I think only 10 or so people bought.
Oh, no.
Yes. I remember Jim Sterling, shout outs, made a video about it, and he and only one other person were the only people playing it, and it was like a day after release.
No. Oh, dear.
But then they strong-armed Apex Legends in there. Yeah, Apex Legends was there for like a couple weeks or so. Beating Fortnite.
Yeah, I mean, it's still, people play it.
Yeah, people still play it. It's still, I would play it if I didn't have to be so team heavy. I mean, I just don't do that kind of stuff, but yeah.
You need a single player, single character experience type of thing where you're not on team, but going against other people.
What?
Yeah, Fortnite
shooting is so good.
It's like such a cultural phenomenon. Like
this will go down in history.
Yeah,
that both excites and disgusts me.
It's probably gonna be in the Museum of Gaming Hall of Fame, probably too, or probably the National Congress Museum too.
I won't lie; it's my personal opinion that it is not even that good of a game. It's just okay.
But that's how it works usually.
But the kids love it, so whatever.
And it's free to play.
And it's free.
All right, what's next up from this previous decade?
Kingdom of Amalur.
This is a throwback if I've never heard one. I had to remember this one because this was
one of the first stories we covered when we were doing the radio station thing.
Yep. So just for a quick rundown for everybody, this studio that was funded by this baseball player decided to come up with this game that he didn't have enough money to even fund. So afterward, they had to like start borrowing money from the state of Rhode Island to fund it. And when the game came out, it kind of bombed and flopped.
Despite it being a pretty good game.
It was a decent game. It just, it was just like you've played it before, pretty much.
Yeah, it wasn't treading new ground or anything. It's a game that was good for what it was.
Yeah, and it didn't sell enough, so it ended up going bankrupt. The studio closed, and old dude ended up owing money to Rhode Island. Like, this is a big. I think this story kept unraveling over like a course of like 3 or 4 years.
Now, what's very interesting, the latest update on it was that the only reason this game has not seen a re-release is EA holds the licensing rights to this game.
Oh,
but
wait.
THQ Nordic would very much like to re-release this game.
Of course. I think they did something. I think that company that did Kingdom Hearts Online had to do with some other games. I'm trying to remember. Let me look.
Did they?
I think so.
I thought this was like their only game.
I think it was something
they were
else.
like very much one and done.
Let me see. I might be wrong.
Done being the operative word there.
Very done.
Because people weren't even getting paid, man. Imagine working on a game at all is already stressful. Working on the game knowing you're not about to get paid for your efforts has to be super stressful. I couldn't, man. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up.
Have you found the studio?
I think I'm thinking about something else probably. Yep, I'm thinking about something else.
Okay, because I'm about to say, I think this was like their only game.
Yeah, I'm thinking about something
I don't think anybody sane enough would let them try another game.
Not sane enough.
Like, you would have to get somebody crazy in order to say to this, you know what? You have a pretty good track record. Let's put you on for another video game.
Let's look this up again. I forgot about. I mean, it had good promise. It's just that they bit off more they can chew, honestly. And they had too much riding on the success of it.
Yeah, this was a game where it was like everything depends on this.
Yeah. I mean, I remember I played it. I'm like, this is alright. It's cool, I guess. But this wasn't captivating enough to get the sales they needed for this game to be a success.
You lost focus too much.
That too, which is why I don't play, open world games.
Same.
Like, I will get off on a tangent. You have to keep me on a complete, like, on a rail. Like, okay, Michael.
Linear path?
Yes. If not, I will do stupid things like rob people and go to different towns and fight people for no reason. Forget about the main quest. So I need linear experiences with a dash of, open world every now and then. Don't just give me open world just out of the blue, because I ain't finna do nothing but do stupid stuff the whole time.
I got about 250 hours logged into GTA 5 and I haven't beaten it.
You play the game that long and that much and not beating it?
Mm-hmm.
What have you been doing?
Very bad things.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next story from last decade. Let's see. Let me pull it up really quick. Oh, Konami. Oof. This is going to hurt a little bit.
Not me.
Not
I'm already numb.
Not to say things bad about them. It's going to hurt. What's going to hurt me thinking about the stuff that I can't play anymore.
I'm already numb.
So Konami out of nowhere decided they it's not going to do anything else with a lot of different franchises.
Oh,
and IPs.
whoa. Let's back up.
All right.
Let's back up.
All right.
Because this. Whoo.
Might be overlooking something.
So, I want to start here.
Okay.
At the last Castlevania game.
Oh, okay. You want
how it was garbage.
You talking about the new series they came out with?
Oh yeah, Lords of Shadow.
Oh yeah.
Where you played as Dracula?
That was so stupid.
And all he had was that one line. What is a man? And it had no good context to what he was doing.
Yeah.
And what happened to Castlevania after that, you ask?
They came in with that 3DS version and they made a sequel to it.
I mean, that's fine. But after that, pachinko machines.
Yeah, Konami was on that.
And
pachinko.
a mobile game.
Yeah. They still making more Metal Gear games.
Oh yeah, they made some. They made Metal Gear 5. only to fire Kojima, who is
Yeah.
the mastermind behind these games.
Yeah.
And if you don't believe that, Metal Gear Survive.
Ugh.
A
Game was
game
so
that
bad.
was terrible and
It's-
had the unmitigated goal to charge you for save slots.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking.
Canceled Silent Hills.
Right, because they
Which-
come out when they come out that they didn't have that demo.
PT?
Yeah, that everybody loved.
A playable trailer?
Yeah.
So good that the PS4s that still had it on there sold for so much more than they were worth?
Yeah.
Konami canceled Silent Hills.
Yep.
A game I was very much looking forward to as a person who loves Silent Hill. And it didn't stop there. Of course not.
No.
Why would it have stopped there? Because the next time we would see Silent Hill, can you guess?
I can't.
Pachinko machine.
They was over there with SNK with their pachinko machines.
Oh.
SNK had actual reason. They had no money. They was broke. They had to make their money back somehow.
But hey.
Konami didn't have the excuse of they was broke.
They didn't. Because you know what else makes them money? Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Man. They make so much money off Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Yu-Gi-Oh anime, Yu-Gi-Oh merch.
Like, they make the money from Yu-Gi-Oh!
Oh,
alone.
Yeah. Let's not forget, they can never claim that they were broke, okay? They have one of the largest trading card properties in the world right now, in the palm of their hands. Even with as angry as I am with them, I play it. But at least they still have Contra, right? Contra Roll Core came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was garbage. It was filth. It wasn't even fit to be digitized onto these poor cartridges and discs. It wasn't worth the bandwidth for anyone who downloaded it. It wasn't worth the time of anyone who was forced to sit and play it and make it. It was garbage. And it was disappointing because it was as if they had done everything they could to make sure it was garbage. Who in their right mind said to themselves, you know what Contra needs? It needs a cooldown system for their guns. I could accept it being a twin stick shooter. I could accept it with like its weird aesthetic. I could accept so much because I love Contra. But when they decided to make a gun system where the guns have a cooldown, that is like playing a Street Fighter game where you have a limited amount of time to use your normals.
Oh, wow. Is that bad?
It's that bad.
Okay.
Konami is trash. Konami is garbage. Fuck pachinko. Fuck casinos.
Ooh, they had the audacity to come up with Blades of Time. I remember that garbage game.
Blades of Time?
Yep.
Ah. That was them too, huh? And what's terrible is that they were so good.
They were doing really good for a while.
So good.
I'm looking at the game list right now, like the stuff. They
Even
produced.
their new direction with Castlevania that was kind of like God of War. I could have taken that. It was fine. But then they threw out the second one, and oh my God.
Oh yeah, I've got they did the Suikoden series, and that never got anything after the fifth one.
Why? Why did Konami build us up just to tear us down? Why
They don't
did
care. They're still getting. I'm looking at their profits and stuff. They're still making money.
Yeah.
A lot of money. Like
Yeah,
their
we-
revenue last year, they made 261.5 billion in yen last year.
That's fun for them. That's great. I'm
Wow.
happy for them.
Net income 34.2 billion yen. They're making money still,
Oh, you don't
but they
say.
don't care. That's why I don't care about the games and stuff. Honestly, it's not a necessity for them to continue on their company. They're still making billions of dollars regardless of them coming out with quality games. So, yeah, that was hard last decade dealing with Konami. And just their refusal to come out with games, their refusal to come out with quality games at that, and just like dumping franchises on the wayside. Like, oh, we don't need this. It was tough. That was tough.
Tough is a way of putting it.
Okay. Do you want to move on from this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I feel myself getting increasingly angrier.
Okay. Let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Because that one was not a fun one. Let's talk about Randy Pitchford, your favorite person.
Oh, that's always fun.
So what we got with Randy Pitchford? You know way more about him than I do.
Of course.
Is that the guy with the Borderlands?
Yes.
Okay, I know that. I know his name from that.
Randy Pitchford. He is a liar. He's a cheater. He thinks he's a magician. But I have to respect him because he gave me Borderlands.
It's the only redeeming thing he's done.
It's really the only thing he's done that's good.
Yeah.
Because him and Gearbox. Whoo. Let's start with Duke Nukem Forever.
That was a mistake.
Shouldn't have done that. I think he knows he shouldn't have done that. He don't even talk about it.
Of course, why would he?
Why would he, you say? Because he's still not to this day, but he likes to talk about Aliens, Colonial Marines.
Ew, why would you bring that up?
Oh, I'll tell you why. We'll get to that. You remember that.
I
How
remember
the trailer
that.
was amazing, but the gameplay was garbage.
We
We talked about it quite a bit on our older days.
Man, that was on like a topic often.
Randy Pitchford will, to this day, lie to your face and say that game was good. Now, people suspect that the game was bad because he was siphoning money from that project and putting the Borderlands, which the quality between the two games is night and day.
Yeah.
He has also been accused of making dummy accounts to praise Aliens Colonial Marines,
Oh my God.
going so far as to try and slander Jim Sterling, who had plenty of coverage on this game after interviewing with Randy Pitchford. And they've had a rivalry ever since because of Aliens Colonial Marines.
Man.
To this day, he will go on an interview, not say Jim Sterling's name, but describe him in such an insulting manner, it's comical. But, hey, he made Borderlands. For a long time, Randy Pitchford was quiet. All he had to do was sit back and make Borderlands and shut up. We want to talk about Battleborn. That was sad. Borderlands 3 and leading up to it. My God, did Randy Pitchford not shut up? Between making it an Epic Store exclusive and saying, hey, nothing I could do, despite the fact that he's a CEO. There was the reveal day where he was trying to put on the magic show, and it was bad. Nobody laughed. There was that weird thing he shared on his Twitter of the cat getting assaulted by a crab.
What?
Oh, you didn't know about that?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Where is Peter?
I don't know, but wow.
Just a quick anecdote. Peter was so garbage last decade.
Oh,
They were so
I'm
on
not
my
even
nerves.
talking about Peter.
I'm just saying they were on my nerves. Every 5 minutes they were talking about something.
I played their games though.
Oh, that Tanuki Suit game?
The Tanuki Suit game and the Pokemon game where I named the pig Bacon just to spite them.
Wow. Okay. All right, back to Randy. I just had a real quick anecdote.
When Game Informer was talking about
Game Informer.
Game Informer was talking about them saying something about in-game purchases, despite the fact that Randy said that there would be no in-game purchases, and he went ballistic and called them like a rag and all this stuff.
I mean, they are.
Mind you, whenever you contradict Randy Pitchford, he will try to discredit you
Or read you for filth or something.
Oh yeah, and it usually comes out like,
Try to
dude,
drag you.
like, dude, you could have just left us alone. You know, that kind of stuff.
Let me not go hard on Game Informer. They have their purpose. They're just an advertisement for GameStop. I get it.
There was also conversations about there was a the USB drive thing.
What was that?
So there was a USB drive at medieval times that he left behind. That left both pornography and important documents at 2K on the flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
Now, people were like, why would you keep important documents and porn on the same flash drive? And, people at first thought it was underage porn. Wasn't. They were at least 18. And he responds with, they're not sex workers, they're magicians.
Really?
Which is supposed to be like some kind of joke or something.
Magician. Okay.
There was the case against him about him assaulting someone in the lobby of a hotel. There was the disagreement that was between him and the old voice of Claptrap. How Randy,
right. I forgot about that.
Where he wanted to get paid for his work on the game and as, the voice actor. But Randy was like, hey, this is just kind of you doing volunteer work.
Wait, wasn't the dude working at the game company, working on the game itself and doing the voice? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Forgot about that. Okay, that was trash.
Yes. These are all the things I just remember off the top of my head. Randy Pitchford's been a busy man.
Man, very
and as you
busy.
can imagine, this has, I don't want to say put a cloud over Borderlands 3. I'm sure it still did well. But if you look up Borderlands 3 Randy Pitchford, you're not going to see a whole lot about the game.
You're going to see a whole lot about how trash of a person he is.
Yes.
Randy
And all
Pitchford.
he had to do was be quiet. Stop talking. Just stop.
He don't know how to do that. That's
So,
hard
yes.
for him to do.
Randy Pitchford. Decade of nonsense.
Decade of nonsense. Yo. Like, he had successful games. Why would you even go through the trouble of talking so much? Just chill. Like, I get it. You don't want anybody to try to badmouth you, but at the same time, it's like, you have money.
Bro, just get money.
Get money and be quiet. Like, let the game just be what it is and let it speak for itself. And
Right? Just get money. That's it. Get money. Shut up.
Decade of nonsense. That's a good way to put it. That's a weird way to tie up his whole arc from last decade.
Yes.
All right, what's next? What do you want to talk about next?
So, two of the most high-profile RPGs finally released.
Oh, I got all to say about this.
Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts 3.
First of all, let's talk about when they were announced.
Oh no, he has receipts.
I have receipts. So, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Final Fantasy Versus 13, which is the original title of 15, was announced 11 years ago. Because it was announced as a compilation for Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah, 13 was supposed to have like a whole universe.
Yes, it was supposed to. And it was going to be pretty awesome, actually, because they were going to continue the lore from 13 into 15 and into Type 0, which would have made a lot of sense. Type 0 retained all of that stuff. But since Final Fantasy 13 didn't sell quite as much as they wanted it to, and it didn't fulfill the promises they wanted as far as, like, fans being unanimously in love with it, they decided to make 15 out of Versus 13, which was dumb.
And here we are with Final Fantasy 15.
And in order to completely distance itself from 13 and the lore, they had to take all of the lore from out of it and redo it from the ground up, which is part of the reason why it took so long for it to come out. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts, I don't know what happened there.
Nobody knows.
Because that game was on the PS2. Like, we skipped the whole gen. We had to get always to PS4 to get a new Kingdom Hearts.
Mind you, it wasn't like they didn't do anything in between.
Oh,
Before
yeah.
getting to 3, Kingdom Hearts has, if I last counted correctly, 12 games. 12 games. You know what? We're gonna do a live count right here. All right, we're gonna look up how many Kingdom Hearts games there are.
Ooh, you ain't right. Just look up the two what is it? No, the compilation that came out with all the games on it.
Story so far. That's what it's
Yeah.
called.
I think that has all the main games that actually mean something.
All right, so let's see. Let's see. Story so far.
When did part 2 come
Does
out?
it tell me? Okay, here we go. So, we got the Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remix having Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days HD Remastered Cinematics, Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts Recoded HD Cinematics, Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance HD, Kingdom Hearts 0.2 Birth by Sleep, A Fragmentary Passage, Kingdom Hearts Back Cover, which is a movie.
Yep. Not to mention the mobile game that's actually canon.
So it's 8 games and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is the back cover. I think that's the movie now.
Yeah.
So 8 games in the movie.
Oh no! Don't forget the mobile game. That's important. The Union, Kingdom Hearts Union X or some stuff. That's actually canon to the actual story. You have to play that to understand what's going on in 3. I know that because I have friends who told me.
So it's 9 games.
Yes,
in the movie.
Yes.
Plus Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
This is all what happened. Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a lot of lore in between them, but Kingdom Hearts 3 just never happened for a long time.
I think part of it was that Tetsuya Nomura was dropped in to do stuff for 15. And cause I know it had a trade off between 2 people who were doing the game. They had to like have someone else finish it, or AKA start a brand new game from scratch, which was bad. They're like, oh yeah, he's back working on Kingdom Hearts 3 now. I'm like, why didn't you start working on a game like 10 years ago? Like you weren't doing anything then.
Always wonderful to see. So they finally came out, both to relatively mixed reception.
Yeah, very mixed.
I'm gonna let Michael take over this one for a little bit because I know you have strong opinions about 15.
Yes, as I've played the entirety of it,
and he even went so far as to release what was it, a 2-part review?
Yes, I reviewed every chapter and DLC. If you want to watch it, you can definitely do it. This is before Royal Edition came out, but it's relatively the same because Royal Edition didn't add a whole lot. Like it added a couple of new gameplay elements, but it wasn't like a whole bunch of story elements they added to it. They actually cut story stuff they were going to plan for DLC. There was going to be like 3 more story packs to get. They cut all of it. They made it to a book.
What?
Yes. The last story pack was the, what's that guy's name? The main villain. They gave him a story DLC. It was like 2 more supposed to come out.
But that's dumb.
Yes, it is. I think one of the issues, and then this is from insider information I got from people who worked at Square Enix at the time, they've had to make that game 4 times over just about.
What?
Yes, they had to keep remaking the game because they kept like rolling to roadblocks the whole time they were making it. So they started over from scratch like 3 or 4 times. That's part of the reason why it took so long. Another reason was the budget. They were going over budget a lot. They were like, okay, we got to come out with this game. They couldn't come out. They couldn't hold it any longer because they knew they were like siphoning money and they were like hemorrhaging money too.
Oh crap.
Yeah. And I think one of the main problems was that the original story was so heavily involved with 13's lore. And in order to like make it make sense, they had to like completely take all of it out. And when you play it, you can tell a lot of it was Cypher because they still have like little bits and pieces in there, but nowhere to the extent that what it originally should have been. Even the gameplay was different. Like the original gameplay was definitely a Kingdom Hearts clone, which people wanted. I wanted it too.
I would have been down for that.
Like, when they showed that trailer in 2013, that game looked phenomenal. I wanted that game. Not this garbage we got after, like, a couple of years ago. Ugh. Ooh. It was so trash. So he made people wait so long for it. And then what we got was, like, this really bare bones game. And some will argue that, it's going to get patched. But these ain't, like, free patches, though. This is, like, story stuff. Like, the main part of an RPG is the story. You can't patch in story parts that's integral to the whole narrative after the fact. I actually waited a whole year to play that game. They patched it all with the new story stuff.
I remember that.
Because I was not playing it. It was like, 20 hours? I'm good. Actually, the game is still like 25 hours, even with if you just go do story only, it's like 25 hours. That's including DLC packs, all 4 of them. Well, maybe a little bit longer. They got the Arden trailer. So that's probably like 26 hours, but that's still short. Like, it's just, oh my God. And then Kingdom Hearts, they're still fixing it. Like they're literally adding more stuff to it, more cutscenes. It's baffling to me. It's literally baffling to me. It took this long for this game to come out. And it's already like it's such a poor state.
But people love it, man.
Nah, people don't like that game. They still say Part 2 is the quintessential Kingdom Hearts game.
'Cause it is.
Like Part 3 is considered garbage compared to 2.
I've spoken with fans, and maybe you're talking of the majority, because I don't get knee deep into what the masses think of an RPG, because at least in my experience, RPG fans are just, ugh. They're an interesting sort.
They are a very interesting like sect of the gaming industry or the gaming community. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 is very polarized. It's completely polarized, like to the point where they're hoping that this new DLC fixes it. It's just the fact that we had to wait this long for it. It's like almost 15 years it took for them to make this game, and then you mean to tell me that it comes out, it's like this is it? This is what we got?
You hate to see it.
You really do hate to see it. And it's not like Square Enix making a whole bunch of games, have all these projects. They have like 2 projects out. They're making the Final Fantasy 14 stuff. They're remastering all their games for some reason to make more money.
Basically.
And now we're getting the Final Fantasy 7 remake, which is actually on schedule.
Which is crazy to think about.
Like, it hasn't been pushed back yet. They're on a firm 3/3/2020 date. Like, they have not pushed it back yet.
Yeah, and this is with them having to have remade the game. Because if you recall, when they first initially announced it, they then announced later on that they were going to have to give it to another studio and have them do it from scratch.
Yeah. I mean, it's looking good. It's looking real good. Like, I'm excited about this remake. This is probably going to be one of the definitive games that come out from Square Enix in a long time. I mean, it'll be better than Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy 15, to be honest.
Well, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Speaking of expectations, remember No Man's Sky?
Man, first of all, we were at the PlayStation Experience sitting there watching the trailer for that.
And some people were like, what is this? And I'm looking like, ooh.
I was like,
this looks
oh no.
good.
That was making a big promises.
This look good.
Procedurally generated worlds and stuff, that's not easy to sell.
I'm like, it was selling me, and I was like, ooh, this looks so good.
Shout out to that E3. That was an incredible E3 that year.
But Michael, being the voice of reason, was like, hey, man, how about you wait and see what's happening first? And shortly after that trailer, things
got bad.
It got pretty bad. If you go back and watch those interviews of, oh goodness, what's the head's name? Give me a second. You watch the interviews, and every time multiplayer is brought up, he was like, you might see some people, you might not. It's a big world.
I mean, it's procedurally generated like worlds, like infinitely.
I don't even know why you would make the promise of multiplayer, man.
Yeah. Whoo, man, we did a whole thing about that.
Oh, we did a few things about that.
Yeah. Because it was like a scam, it felt like at first.
Because when they put it out, Sean Murray, that's his name.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about him.
When Sean Murray was like showing off that it was ready to go, and then like they put it out, and everybody's like, what the hell is this? They went radio silent for a long time. And nobody thought they were going to come back.
Yeah.
Like, wow. You want to talk disasters?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a fire that kept going.
Yikes. And it just kept going. It was always burning since the world's been turning.
I just knew from what they were trying to promise, they couldn't fulfill it in the time frame which they were trying to do it.
Like, every time Sean Murray was in an interview, he's just kind of like chuckling and going, yeah, it's going to come out. It's happening.
Like, they should have just said, this is a project we're doing, and just like, I don't know, they could have did that way, but that rollout was terrible. Like, it was just awful.
People would have to wait such a long time before they got a competent game.
Yep.
The game, I don't know what the state of the game is right now.
I think they re-released it, so I think it's better now.
Like, I hear it's good. I think it even has like a VR thing going on.
Oh God, VR needs to be in everything. Like, can we do something without VR?
No. Everything VR. Like everything had to be 3D before. Everything has to be VR now. Remember 3D? Remember that craze?
I remember. I was there. I'm over it now, though.
Who isn't? But now we're in the VR phase. Moving up in the world.
Yeah, No Man's Sky was a textbook case of overpromising things you can't fulfill. Like, literally. Like, it just was trying to do too much, too soon, too fast. They didn't have a proper, like, infrastructure. They didn't have a proper team to implement all this stuff. Yet, they had the audacity to come out with the game.
And now, today, we're looking. When you look up No Man's Sky, you hear about how apparently you can make music in the game now. That's
cool.
Interesting.
That's cool, I guess. That's something.
But it took so long to get here. 3 years.
They should have came out with it now.
Yeah, it took 3 years for them to finally get a good game going.
You know, like another game that was announced that exact same E3, Dreams, they were in beta for a while. Why a heavy sigh?
I don't want to talk about Dreams.
Why not?
I just want that game to release and be good.
You could get it on the UK account we have.
I might.
Like, it's been in, like, have you seen the Final Fantasy VII remake thing they used through Dreams?
No.
Okay. I'm going to share it to you really quick.
Okay. I just want to play it. Because that game looked good, too.
We have a European account.
Okay.
You can get it. If you really want it, you can get it. Might have to pay a couple extra bucks for it, but
yeah, because their money's stronger than our money and exchange rates. Oof.
what?
Death Stranding and No Man's Sky among the flop games of the decade for Watch Mojo.
Dang.
I'm gonna watch that on the way home. Ooh, Death Stranding. Who would have thought that Death Stranding and No Man's Sky would be in the same sentence for something so terrible?
Yeah. It's a new era we're in.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally going to just watch that on the way home. All right. Speaking of being full of shit.
This segue.
EA.
Oh, we got so much to talk about with EA. They were.
And you know what? We're still not going to cover everything.
Nope.
But we're going to cover enough.
Last decade, they were on one last decade. They said, we making money and that's it.
So let's see. They killed Dead Space.
Yep. That was a tragedy. That was a tragedy.
Killed it.
They killed it.
You know what? Is that even in this decade?
What?
Dead Space 3. I want to make sure.
It should be.
I want to make completely sure before I start railing it on them because I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure Death Space 3 came out last decade. Like, I'm almost like 75% sure.
I am too, but just wanna make sure.
I think I was.
Yes, February 2013.
Yep,
All right, cool.
figured.
I can rail into this. I love Dead Space 1, and I love Dead Space 2. 2 still gives me the creeps every now and again when I think about it, because my mind immediately goes to the daycare portion where you had to shoot the exploding babies.
Oh, that was oof.
But 3 was like, hey, you know how our strengths are putting you in claustrophobic areas by yourself? Let's add co-op and crafting and open spaces and temperature for some reason, which made the game not scary and easy and dumb. But hey, you can buy components because microtransactions.
Our favorite thing.
Microtransactions. We'll discuss more about that in a bit, by the way.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about with that.
But yeah, that was just Dead Space. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But then, I don't know if I want to talk that much about Mass Effect 3. Because it's not like they screwed it up as far as monetization.
That was annoying.
But that ending was trash.
That was annoying, though, like, to be honest. Like, that whole affair about the ending and having to change it and going back and forth, like, that was just a lot.
That was quite a bit.
That was a whole journey we got. We talked about that for a couple of weeks, actually. Mm-hmm. I remember those days.
And they eventually changed it. It wasn't the ending everybody wanted, but it was an ending.
It was better than what they got originally, I guess. Only for them to screw up again with that other.
We'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
We'll get there.
I'm jumping the gun.
Let's see. I feel like if I looked up all the games they've released from then till now, I can find something that they've done to screw it up. Because another one that comes by SimCity, how that was always online and how they said it had to be, but then somebody hacked it so it wasn't and it still played just fine.
Oh, always online.
We don't need to talk about the sports division just yet because we got a section for them. Let's see. I could think of Battlefield 4, how it released broken and it was a mess and people were pissed. The Sims, how they monetized that to hell.
Wait. I just thought something.
What boy?
Remember that? What was that Battlefront? Remember there was a girl on the cover of one of the games?
That will be Battlefield.
Okay, that's
Battlefield 5, actually.
Yes, I remember that.
That's a little further up because we still haven't gotten to Battlefield 1, where there was a black guy on the cover.
Oh, yeah. Was that a big deal for that?
Actually, no.
Surprisingly.
People were more upset about the fact that, Battlefield Hardlines was a thing.
Why is there so many Battlefield games?
I don't know, man.
I'm just asking the questions that need to be asked. What else did EA do? I know they did a lot.
There's so many things they've done.
Especially the microtransactions and
They killed Need for Speed.
Oh, yeah. They killed a lot of them, too.
They killed Titanfall with their stupid decision.
Yeah.
Why would you sandwich Titanfall between Battlefield 1, your own release that you know is going to be good, and Call of Duty? Why did you do that? Why would you do? Titanfall 2 was amazing. And they killed it.
They probably thought they were like, oh, we have a two-front attack against this one company. We call it 2 games.
Medal of Honor is dead. that game isn't even worth talking about at this point. Like I said, The Sims has so many expansions, so many ways to spend money in that game. It's actually ridiculous. It should be looked at and scrutinized harshly.
Not looked at.
Patrick Soderlund, who was like the head there at the time, he was just always full of bad takes.
Oh, yeah.
About how microtransactions are good, how it helps the industry, and blah, 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 blah. I think they were one of the pioneers of the online pass.
What's the online pass?
Remember when they were trying to stop the used game sales, so they had online pass?
Oh, my God, I remember that garbage.
So
the
online
upset
pass.
Me.
Yeah.
You couldn't. Oh, because I remember you couldn't use online stuff. You had to buy the pass.
If you bought
a used copy
game and it had an online function, you had to buy the online pass.
I remember that didn't last long.
No, it didn't.
That didn't last very long.
No,
that was trash. Wasn't that the same? Did they do that for I can't think. It was a different company though. I'm trying to think. Was it for PlayStation All Stars? Did they do that too?
I think so.
Yeah, I remember. I was mad. I had bought that game. You was like, you can't play online. You buy it online. I'm like, well, I guess I ain't playing online then. You finna get me.
God, just think of all the things EA did. But Battlefield 5, right? People were mad because the trailer was weird.
Yeah.
And not historically accurate. They thought that people hated it because there was a woman. And they basically was like, look, my daughter deserves to have games where women are on the front lines. If you don't like it, don't buy it. And guess what? They didn't like it, so they didn't buy it.
Yikes.
They even went so far as to throw like some kind of party where they had like all the quotes of people saying these things about the game. Not trolling quotes, mind you. Just criticisms about the game's release and everything. And they were just like, yeah, it's funny. It's funny how they're trolls and we're great and we're EA. Ha 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 ha.
That laugh.
And Battlefield 5 didn't do so good. Some would say it killed the franchise. I don't know if I would go that far. But boy, it didn't do them any favors.
Nah.
And of course, we talked briefly about what they did to Battlefront. Battlefront 1 was a microtransaction riddled disaster, or is that Battlefront 2? Hard to tell. They were both
pretty bad.
They were both pretty bad. They used FIFA and all their sports games as pretty much cash generators to them.
Because they knew people were going to buy that over and over again no matter what. Like, the presence of FIFA outside the U.S. is crazy. Like, it's such a huge IP elsewhere in the world because soccer's a big thing. So, it's all going to make money, like, every year. EA is a horrible company.
Yes. Twice they were voted worst company in America, actually.
They take it with pride now, I think.
Oh, and Anthem.
Woo! Yikes.
All I had to say was Anthem, and you knew where that was going.
I knew where that was going. That was a complete cluster fire.
Oh, yes. This was their bid to try to chase the beautiful live service.
Live service is such a...
Oh, yes, and how BioWare was like, hey, BioWare Magic doesn't exist, doesn't work. It was hard work.
BioWare Magic.
Yes, that was their thing. Hey, if a game isn't going to come out on time, we use BioWare Magic and make it happen. Another word for that is crunch.
Yep, which I'm glad that we kind of got uncovered that one.
Ah, yes. Shout out to Jason Schreier, who blew that one wide open.
You know what I thought about? You know that meme of like Scooby-Doo where he takes the hood off of people and it's actually somebody else? Mm-hmm. I think that's what it is. First it's BioWare Magic, but actually it's just Crunch.
Yes.
That's literally it.
Oh. Another game we could point at is BioWare's Mass Effect Andromeda.
I was alluding to that earlier because boy, oh boy, woo graphics.
You can look at so many compilations of glitches, of faces, of just bad dialogue. I will never forget that this one woman said her face was tired, and oh my God. First of all, what? I say that occasionally at work. People are like, are you okay, Anthony? No, my face is just tired. And they look at me like, what does that mean? I don't know, my face is tired.
I remember when that game was announced, my friend was like, how's it come out this soon? I'm like, oh, they'll figure it out.
BioWare Magic.
Because he kept saying, like, this is a really short development cycle. Are they going to be able to get this out in time? I'm like, you're just worrying too much.
BioWare Magic.
That game came out, it was garbage.
Lord knows what they're going to do to Dragon Age.
Oh, God. Did it also do one?
They, yeah. Oh. And it's probably going to be a live service, too.
Oh, God. Why? I am so glad that I don't have any franchises by EA that I really love and care about.
As long as it doesn't make my face tired. Oh, forgot about that. They turned Command and Conquer into a mobile game now?
That was rude.
Despite the fact that people have been waiting so long.
Oh, my God. They rude for that.
So long.
I hate when companies do that. I hate when companies have a property people actually love and care about. They make a mobile game out of it. I've seen a lot of companies do that.
It happens quite often.
I can name a few that upset me to this day.
Ew. But you sound a little upset about that, man.
Because Square Enix did to me.
What did they do?
Valkyrie Profile?
Ah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Man. That game still up there. That's it. That game is canon. That game is a prequel to the first game. Sorry,
hey man, do your thing.
So upset about that. And then Capcom had the audacity to do that with Breath of Fire. It's like, oh, you want to do Breath of Fire? Here's this mobile version. Bye. Like these guys they're so trying to chase that mobile money.
Yeah, EA is no different.
Like I blame Angry Birds for all of this. They ruined the game industry.
Somehow they're double dipping because they have Plants vs. Zombies.
Oh, yeah.
On mobile, and they also have it as like a third person shooter.
Yeah.
Which honestly is pretty good. I actually like Plants vs. Zombies.
I'll give them that at least.
Yeah, but then you gotta take it away when you realize they also have Dungeon Keeper, which is the most egregious mobile game ever created.
What's Dungeon Keeper?
Dungeon Keeper. How do I explain Dungeon Keeper? It's basically a game where you're just digging a lot, and you can pay to dig faster.
You can pay to dig faster.
Yeah, otherwise, like, digging is like an ordeal of like 24 hours or something. It's pretty garbage.
Sounds about right. Ugh. Man, you know what? It's like last decade was just garbage, to be honest. Like, even just like hearing us talk about a lot of stuff we talked about, a lot of it was just not that great. Like, many of the stories we talked about were just like, oh, it was just bad. People actually think we hate gaming if they just listen to this only.
Yeah, which, I mean, we don't.
We don't like...
But gaming has gotten a little trash.
Yeah. Because I can say from, like, the 2000s was a pretty good era. We didn't have microtransactions and stuff. We didn't have DLC. We just had games coming out. We had a lot of games.
Funny that you mentioned that. That's our next topic.
Which is?
DLC.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. I'm very passionate about this topic.
As am I.
Okay.
I remember DLC being a simple idea that was supposed to basically be a way to sell people expansions, much like they do on PC.
Yep.
That was the basic premise.
Mm-hmm.
You sell more of the game, not the rest of the game.
Yep.
And yet,
Here we are.
We got microtransactions that sell you cosmetics, that sells you parts of the game that you could access in the game, but is a pain to. The rest of the game.
Yep.
Stuff that will help you win more.
Yep.
Games that shouldn't even have the... Dude, I know that we've gotten to a pretty bad place. When we get to a game like, let's say, Tales. Any Tales game. Any Tales game that came out in the last 5-6 years. If you go to the PlayStation Store, they have packs where you give you extra items, extra levels, extra money.
Yeah.
And it's like, why?
Like, I'm cool with costumes. Cosmetic stuff is always cool. That's always fun for RPGs. But when you start getting to, like, levels and stuff, like, okay, all right, guys, you took this too far now. Like, it was fun earlier, but now you just ruined it.
Like, Devil May Cry has a transaction where they say you orbs, which directly gives you, power-ups.
Oof. Devil May Cry 5. They had the audacity for that game with the red orbs.
Let's see. What was that game? Shadows of Mordor?
Oh, oof! Was that EA?
Was it EA? I don't want to say that it was EA.
What was that? Who did Shadows of Mordor? I remember that was a big topic for a while too.
Yes, because they were definitely pay to win. It might have been EA. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say Ubisoft too.
Don't
because
they
could monetize it, they will.
Don't talk about Ubisoft because I'm gonna get mad because they still ain't did what I need them to do.
Which is
come out with a new Prince of Persia. What else?
Oh, that was WB.
Okay, WB game. God, we ain't talk about them either. They were pretty trash last decade too.
Oh yeah, about how they were selling broken games on PC and forced them to Steam had to force them to give them refunds.
Yo, what was that? Arkham Knight?
Arkham Knight on PC was trash.
Ooh. Also, MKX was trash too on PC. It was broken.
They clearly don't care about.
They just don't. They were like,
or the monetization schemes. Like, dude, they gave you the option to buy the crypt.
Yep.
And in MK11, they gave you time crystals, but make the unlocking so terrible that you wish they would give you the option to buy the crypt.
Yo, like, the crypt is like the most...
And they ain't done nothing to fix it.
It's so obnoxious. Like, to get those crystals, you're paying way more money for stuff. Like, I barely even play that game because of that. Like, that just ruined it for me even, get costumes and stuff. Like, I would prefer just to have costumes. Like, just give me costumes. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, the way they did MK11 DLC was so awful.
It was clearly a way to make you invest a lot of time.
Yeah, for engagement.
Yes, this is clearly an engagement thing, and it can either turn people away or make people addicted.
Yeah, either one. They're looking for more of the latter, though.
Of course.
People to be addicted.
But, WB.
Ugh, they were trash.
Hey, you know what's gonna happen?
What?
After a good year has passed, they're gonna unlock. They're gonna do the Ultimate Edition, which is everything unlocked.
Yep. Because
that's how they make their money.
Yep.
All right. These people aren't buying the game anymore. Give them the Ultimate Edition.
Yep, for like $30 or $40. All the characters, all the costumes, all the everything.
So,
oh
yeah,
God, I forgot
WB
WB Games. They were so garbage.
Yep.
With their DLC.
Yep.
Like, I like DLC where it adds value to the game. That's all I want. Like, I don't want it to be stuff that, like, is so integral to the gameplay or I have to buy it or I'm not going to have a great experience.
One of the worst cases of DLC. I'm not going to talk about Evolve here. Because that's too easy. That's way too easy.
Man, that's too easy.
No. This is something that people may have forgotten. All right.
Okay.
This is Ashura's Wrath.
Ooh, I remember that. Ooh,
When
Capcom.
they sold you
yes.
the true ending.
Yes.
Now, the game ended conclusively, but they said, you want the true ending? You really want to know what happens? That's not what really happens. Here's what really happens. Just a couple bucks will tell you what really happened.
That was so trash for Capcom doing that.
And wow.
I think Capcom, I think, lesson better than anybody else that last decade. Because they learned about that DLC stuff. Now, EA hasn't learned their lesson yet.
Oh, no, because it keeps working.
Yeah.
They won't. I feel like I can't believe them learning their lesson until they stop monetizing their sports games.
Well, that's never going to happen.
Exactly. Take-Two is just as bad.
Yeah.
That virtual currency nonsense.
Oof. God.
Or the literal slot machines in their games now.
Yeah, the 2K games. That's not Borderlands. Ugh. Which is crappy because that one game that 2K is doing, that what is it called? Godfall? I'm interested. But I'm scared that's gonna be monetized to hell.
Same here.
Like, I thought that was a cool looking concept of a game. Like, oh, this looks cool. It's a loot-based action game.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be like a Monster Hunter game, honestly.
Yeah, I could see that too.
But if it's going to be like monetized to hell, I don't want it.
Oh, but let's not forget the worst Ponzi scheme of DLC yet.
Come with it, yes.
Augment your pre-order.
Square Enix learned very well how people are not here for the bullshit because they tried it.
Ooh, augment your pre-order?
A Ponzi scheme for DLC. Jesus. Hey guys, if you all pre-order the game, you get more DLC. You keep pre-ordering.
You keep getting stuff. You even get to the part where you get the game early.
That was so garbage. Who let them do that? I'm sure that was probably Square Enix that did that because I know, I'm gonna say in my heart, Crystal Dynamics would not do that.
Oh no, I
feel like they had nothing to do with it. I think because I know a lot of times a lot of the DLC and schemes they're doing is usually done by a publisher to make more money. Like usually the developer doesn't want it. They don't even want to do it.
Yeah, when you talk to them, they're just like, hey, we got to do this, man. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. We got to make this money. They're forcing our hand pretty much.
Ooh, the trailers are still up.
For what?
For augment your pre-order.
That was so garbage.
Ooh, I'm playing it.
I'm fine with this. This is a good choice.
All right, I'm not gonna play the audio because it's gonna be weird if I do. Even though, oh man, this single player game where you can augment your pre-order.
They thought that was a good idea too. Somebody in
Right,
marketing was like, hey, we should do this.
All right, so Dad says, man, can augment your pre-order. This had whole tiers. Like, why? Why did you all think this was okay?
They thought this was a good idea.
So, like, tier 1 was like costumes and skins. And it was all dependent
on a group effort of everybody pre-order this game.
The classic pack of you get 3 packs of oh, hold on, whoa, it's going real fast. So the first tier was a bunch of costume packs. The second tier was like music. Yeah, digital art book, digital OST sampler. Tier 3 is an extra in-game mission. Tier 4 is a digital novella and a comic book. The tier 5 is you get the game early.
Boy, oh boy.
They were crowdfunding a whole scheme.
Yeah, they thought they was doing something. Like, why can't they just, like, not do stuff like this? I would prefer them not do this.
You could get the game 4 days early.
If you just all collectively pre-order the game.
Why?
Like, that doesn't
Why?
Square Enix was always on one last decade. Like, they just was always doing something stupid. They couldn't get it right, really, honestly.
No, they couldn't.
Like, they just kept consistently. I think this year, it's like it's going to be a good year for them. Because with the remake coming out and the Trials of Mana remake, which I'm really excited about too, looks really good. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. And they got, Bravely Default coming out, part 2? I don't know when it's coming out, but it's supposed to come out soon. So, hopefully Square Enix learned their lesson from the augmented DLC garbage. That was stupid. With Bravely Default 2?
Yes.
Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's not like part 1 where you have to redo everything like a bunch of times.
Hopefully it's more like part 2, which was good.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry. Whatever that, I guess 1.5, whatever you want to call it, because this one is 2 for some reason. Yeah. All right, so let's get away from DLC. We've ranted quite a bit, and if you ever want to find out what we think about DLC, just listen to some of our past episodes.
Yeah, we have a lot to say about DLC. Usually, we will continue to have a lot to say about it because it's garbage.
But let's talk about something we can look back on and laugh now. That's the big PSN hack.
Yo, when that happened, that was like the worst time to be a PlayStation user because boy, oh boy, everybody was just piling in. Like, you stupid PS players, you Sony boys.
What you Sony ponies.
Oh, God. Sony pony was so good. I ain't even gonna lie. I laughed at that.
Like, man, I know Xbox Live has never been hacked.
Right? They was just like, oh, I don't want my card being hacked. I'm not gonna put my card on my stuff.
Like, man, your server's still up there, buddy? Because the servers were down for a while.
A long time. They had to fix it because there was a huge breach of everybody's like card information was compromised. Ugh.
Man, I don't want nobody using my card. Xbox Live is great.
Yeah, that was a bad time. That wasn't a good time. But remember when they actually did come back up, they gave us free games?
Yeah.
That was good.
It was nice of them to do that.
They didn't have to.
They didn't.
I just wanted to play Street Fighter 4 with the new arcade edition. I was like, can y'all put this back up so we can play this? But yeah, that was a huge thing. That was like so big for a while. And thankfully, I didn't have like any issues with my stuff being compromised.
Neither did I.
A lot of people I know didn't, but some people actually did too. So,
was thankfully, Sony has learned from that, and I don't think we've had a breach like that since.
No, I don't think we have nothing to that magnitude. That was huge. Somehow they bounced back really good too.
Yes,
because like the PS4 didn't have. I mean, that thing just went on to sell so much. So,
yes,
you would think with such a breach like that, it would have probably like hurt them dearly, but it actually didn't.
Xbox users got a lunchbox.
Yikes.
They went from whatever you can call the 360 to a DVR player, and now they have a file cabinet.
You are so rude.
What? I'm just calling. Look at that thing and tell me you don't see a file cabinet.
You are rude.
I'm being nicer than saying a trash can.
That's rude too.
Hey, that ain't even me. I think a file cabinet is very useful.
I'm sure you do. Yeah, and I would say about the breach, I mean, it was awful, and you couldn't go online for a while, and there was a lot of coverage about it, and people were rightfully so pissed.
I don't think I went to Ignite any more than I did in those days to play online against people.
Well, yeah, because like you couldn't do it at home anymore, so.
So sad.
We can look at it fondly as just a time in history where Sony screwed up and they learned from their mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, you had us that time, Xbox, but come on.
You had us that time. All right, what's next? That was a little short one.
The Ouya.
Oh, God. We have
the rise of cloud gaming.
So the Ouya, that was a special place for us. Because we went to the event they had in Chicago about it.
Yeah, we met the lady and everything.
Yeah, so it was really, I actually still want Ouya because like the emulating thing it can do on it is really awesome. But
hey, look, I tell you what, you get an Ouya if you want to, and you let me know how that goes.
Yeah, the controller for it is terrible though. That's the only thing that stopped me. Like I saw Ouya at like the thrift store once. I should have bought it when I saw it.
I mean, can't you just like use a Bluetooth controller?
I think you can. I don't know
if that's the case. You could just use your PS4 controller.
Yeah, I haven't seen what they've been doing lately with the Ouya as far as like
The emulator scene?
Yeah, it's been a while. I try to keep up with the emulator scene for some reason. I don't know. It's just one of my hobbies.
Because you don't want to buy old consoles.
Yeah, I really don't if I don't have to.
But yeah, the Ouya was whew.
Told to be like the biggest thing since sliced bread. Like,
We are going. No, there's no more need for boxes except this tiny square. Developers can come in and do whatever they want with it.
they ain't do nothing with it.
And they were like, well, why would we, what's our incentive? Yes.
Literally, yes. She was bad about answering questions, though. I remember we asked about the fighting games. She was like, "It's a good controller for it." I'm like, "Girl, have several seats. That controller's like,
Yeah.
fuck you like a damn boomerang. Get out of my face."
What about the ergonomics of the controller? It fits in your hands.
Ugh.
All right, what's the launch lineup? Games. All right, and how many people do you have to support this right now? A lot.
We have a lot of backers.
A lot of backers and a lot of support.
Oh,
From people just like you.
oh my god, the Ouya was such a big deal. It's
Because
one
it
of-
introduced an idea that would not be refined until so many years later.
yeah,
Because it tried cloud gaming before cloud gaming even had a title.
yep, it definitely did.
And it's still bad.
Yeah, because we get all the way up to now with the Stadia,
Trash.
which is hot garbage.
Filth.
It's still bad.
Disgusting.
They didn't learn nothing from the Ouya.
Garbage.
Like,
And guess what? The Chromecast counts as a box. I'm sorry. It counts.
yeah,
I don't care if it's shaped like a circle. It counts as a box.
you still need it. I don't know, man. I don't think cloud game's gonna get there yet. We got some.
Closest we got right now is what the Xbox is doing. xCloud.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That's like the closest thing we got going to it.
Oh, PlayStation Now is decent. It got fixed a little bit. Weren't you using it?
I was, and I can safely say that if you are trying to play a PS4 game that you can download, you had better. But if you are trying to play something like my benchmark was going to be Street Fighter 3 Third Strike, right? It works. When it works, it's good. But there are times where it'll just stutter for a whole second, and it's like, oh, I don't know about that.
Maybe we should just like break out our PS3s and play it on there.
You right. That's about the best we can do for that. But for what it is, I suppose it's not bad. Especially since now they're trying to only charge like $10 a month for it.
Well, yeah, because nobody was buying stuff at the price it was at, or how the quality of it was.
Yeah, though. Yeah.
Cloud gaming is not going to work until we get a better infrastructure for our internet. Like that's just the hard. That's really what we need first. Before you try to like revolutionize something, you should probably fix that. You need that. That's like trying to like revolutionize electricity, and you still have it. Let's try to revolutionize like light bulbs, and electricity still sucks.
And with the way that the ISPs are monopolized throughout the country, it's not going to happen anytime soon unless a new ISP comes through and tries to shake it up.
They tried their foot on everybody's neck. If you have an ISP, they got their foot on your neck. Just throwing it out there because you owe so much money to them. Mm-hmm. No, I don't think there's any one particular one that's cheaper than the other one. Once you get down to it, it just one's maybe run better.
Yeah.
Like, I think RCN works really well, but it's still pricey. Like, it's not cheap.
And I have Comcast, and when it works amazingly. Comcast, when they make the claim that they have the fastest internet, I believe that claim. However, they drop a lot.
Yeah.
So they are trash.
They are. I remember I had Comcast.
And their customer service is the most awful thing.
Yeah. Oh, God. I remember I was living in my mom's house. And that was the only place you could get was Comcast. That was a trial. Like, that was the worst time having internet. I hated it.
Perhaps I'll move and I'll also have RCN and feel better about my internet.
Man, I ain't never leaving them. Like, no matter where I live at, I have to have them near me. Because I've just become grown with them. Like, it's not an option for me anymore. Like, I need to have RCN. Like, point blank.
Well, that's that on that.
Yeah.
Let's move on to
what we got.
GTA 5.
Your game. See, I know very little about GTA 5 aside from all the mods I've seen on the internet.
So GTA 5, as of right now, is the highest grossing single piece of media in existence.
Wow.
It has made the most money. When I say piece of media, that's over movies, over books, over music, over everything. This is the highest grossing piece of media to exist.
How long has it been out?
That is a great question.
I feel like it's been out for a while.
It has. It has held itself up with GTA Online, which I'm not a fan of, but I know that many people are. Let's see. Well, this was released September 17th, 2013.
Wow, it's still going strong. It's still people are still playing it.
Still, people are still like, "Hey, you gonna hop on GTA 5 later
and do stupid stuff?"
Yes, that's basically it. This is a playground.
I just want to do hood rat things with my friends.
Yeah,
this is literally GTA 5,
and you really can. It's such a good sandbox. I'll give it that. The things you can do. I mean, yeah, there's plenty of hacks and stuff, but so what, man? It's a great game, I think.
I've never heard anything bad about it. I've never, since it's been out, I've never heard anything bad. All I keep seeing is, commercials for it.
The only thing that's bad is if you play GTA 5 online, the scaling of prices and the scaling of things that you need is gone up and up. The economy has gotten a little wonky and broken. So it makes so much money because you had to keep on buying shark cards and megalodon cards and stuff like that so you can keep on getting vast amounts of money.
Yeah.
Because doing the in-game stuff can get you some money, but why do that when you can rise to power so much faster?
And everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be a Don.
Right. Like if I were to jump into the game right now, I'd be severely disadvantaged. Which is why I'm not going to jump in that game, and I'm going to keep on playing the regular GTA 5 so that, we'll never get more story content, but hey.
Still fun, obviously.
It's still very fun. Even playing by myself and doing, stupid stuff by myself, very fun. I bought that game twice, by the way.
I'm not surprised it's, one of the highest selling single pieces of media because of the fact that it has such a huge presence in pop culture.
Yeah.
Aside from Fortnite, GTA in general is just huge. That's the definitive game.
Yeah, that game has a legacy, man.
A huge legacy.
The games that you'll hear the most about: GTA 3, GTA Vice City,
yep,
San Andreas,
yep,
and now GTA 5.
Yep, definitely those.
People think San Andreas is the best. I am not as convinced. I will die on the hill that GTA 5 was my favorite game. Mostly because it's the only game I can stand to play. I used to be a person who was like, man, I hate GTA. That game sucks. Then I tried 5 because it was $20 on PSN one day. And I was like, all right, sure.
That's how they got you.
And I was like, they
got you.
This game is good. They fixed the driving. The shooting's good. Everything is fun. See, now I want to play it.
They got you.
I'm gonna go home and play this.
Got you hooked.
I'm supposed to be hunting Pokemon, but I'm gonna go home and shoot and destroy things. Either that, or I'm just gonna drive on the cliffside, man. There are times where I just want to drive on the cliffside, and I can do that. That's fine. Just get lost. Find adventure.
All right, let's move into something I'm not going to have much to say about because I don't really care that much about it, but it was a big deal.
Oh, dear. The Last Guardian?
Yeah. Because remember they had, everybody thought it was vaporware for a while?
Myself included.
And then all of a sudden, it comes out this day.
It happened, and my God, did I... Last Guardian wasn't a game that I was exactly the most thrilled about to begin with because they were like, this is from the people who made
Ico
and Shadow of the Colossus.
Yep.
Everybody loves that game. I am not in that camp.
I am not.
I'm sorry.
Either.
I don't think it's a bad game. I think it's just not for me. So when they were like, we're going to have this game come out, it's going to be great. where you have like this dog bird thing be whatever. All right, so first of all, I get that thing is supposed to be like a living creature and it's supposed to have its own consciousness and stuff. I don't care. That thing is stupid. All right, the thing is stupid. It's an idiot. And I hate it.
Did you play it?
Yes.
That's why he's talking so badly about the dog,
yes,
dog bird thing?
Yes, I am. The movement and mechanics are almost fine. I say almost because I'm counting the dog as a mechanic. It's stupid. I hate it. I hate that there are so many puzzles that depend on it, because there'll be times where I have to lure it with food or something like that. And it's like, ooh, food. I guess y'all get the food. If I don't have food or something, if I don't have a way to lure it, or even if I do, sometimes you're just like, nah, man, I'm full. You know, you got this. I hate that thing. I hate it. And some of the puzzles they range from insultingly simple to what the fuck is this hard?
Oh.
But that doesn't happen that often. It may happen like a couple times, but then you find out the solution and you look at it like, that's it? And it makes you feel stupid.
That's Zelda, though, too.
I don't feel that about Zelda half the time, unless it's Breath of the Wild.
I felt that about playing, what was that, Wind Waker.
See, everybody's like, oh, I feel so rewarded. I don't feel rewarded when I play that game. I feel insulted. And I feel like it's insulting me.
That's how I felt about Wind Waker. I'm like, screw this game.
So, yeah, that's that on that. I have no more good things to say about it.
I have nothing else for it. I was just happy it finally came out. Because I was over it.
Now, something much more important and something that is near and dear to me. The rise of indie gaming.
Your favorite thing.
My favorite thing.
Not gonna lie, when indies were first started, because I remember when the indies started coming out, they were the same goddamn game made over and over again. There were no variants to it. I wasn't intrigued at first. It took me a while to get on this indie wave.
I feel that.
But the last 5 years of indies, they have snapped. Like 2015 or beyond, they snapped with these indies. Like they've been going really hard.
My favorite game of the decade is an indie.
Is it
I'm sure
Hollow Knight?
Of course it's Hollow Knight. Of course it's Hollow Knight. That game is amazing. Some of my favorite games are all indies. Guacamelee, Shovel Knight, Hollow Knight.
A lot of nights.
I mean, hey man, nights are a part of the deal. Celeste.
Bloodstained. I would agree too, because like that includes what's that fighting game? Battle for the Grid.
Battle for the Grid.
Because Anyway did that. Anyway is an indie company.
Are we gonna count Fighting EX Layer as an indie game?
Yes, that's
Fighting EX Layer.
That's an indie studio.
Point is, indies have really been killing it.
They stepped up so much. They have been making some incredible games. Wait, I forgot about Indivisible.
I didn't forget about Indivisible.
Oh, did you say it with the list? Did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I should have. There's so many more I could think of, like Axiom Verge. If anybody's into Metroid, you should play that.
It's a lot of Metroidvanias, though. I will say that.
That is a thing. That and roguelites.
Yep.
Like Dead Cells, love Dead Cells. But if, it's like the last roguelite I could stand playing. Because some of the other ones that came out, I'm kind of like either not for or just kind of like meh on.
I played probably the most indie games this last 2 years. Sayonara Wild Heart is still probably it might be my favorite indie game that came out this year. Well, last year. That game was incredible. Can I even count Falcom as an indie developer? Because like their studio is so tiny.
I feel like they're like a mid-range.
Because they're not like a. Because like Koei Tecmo was more of a mid-range, I think. When I think about mid-range studios.
Well, how big is Falcom?
I think they're like less than like 100 people, if that. Might be less than that, actually. Let me look. I am curious.
Point is, indie gaming has become such an integral part of the gaming space that even the AAA developers have to have divisions for indie games, for better or for worse. There was a while that EA was making a real big push for indie gaming. Well, they pretty much gave like the funding to people.
They have 62 employees.
Whoa, okay. If you want to call them indie, go for it.
Yeah, that's like a small ass studio.
Let's see. EA made a big push for it. Ubisoft, they didn't have a huge push, but when they brought out the game, it was pretty good. Child of Light, if I remember.
Oh, I love that game.
Capcom tried for a little while, but then they quit.
See, because Iron Galaxy is indie, and they have 130 people working there.
They are pretty indie. All right, man, you got this.
I would say the size of the company probably is where it makes it indie or not.
Yeah, because indie can range from like one person to maybe like 150, I'd say.
Yeah. Because Iron Galaxy is definitely an indie studio. Like, I think the publisher is changing the way we look at indies too. Mm-hmm. Because while like Indivisible and Bloodstained were all made by indie developers, they were still like published by like a non-indie studio, well, non-indie publisher. Like 505 Games, I think I would say right now they're going to the AAA publisher space right now because last year was a good year for them.
Oh yeah,
like they killed it last year. Like they had like 3 top-notch games. They had Control, Indivisible, and Bloodstained, and probably some other stuff I'm missing. But those are the 3 ones I know off the top of my head that were great. They killed it. They snapped. Man.
I think currently at the top of the pile of indie developers is probably Devolver Digital.
Ooh, they be killing it with oh my god, I love them. They have one of the best E3s every year.
Now, they clearly have more hits than losses because Devolver really knows how to make a great game. Mm-hmm. And one thing I love about the indie space is that they aren't as chained back by conventional means as other game developers are. They can put out some visceral games. They can fill those niche areas that the AAA companies kind of just skip over.
Or just come out with a game that's actually finished.
That too.
Like, we be wanting just full-fledged RPGs or fighting and stuff, and indie developers just fulfill that for us.
And if you need any convincing on how good indie gaming can be, you don't have to look very far. You can look to Shovel Knight, which is in every kind of game you could think of.
Yeah, he's like the poster child for like indie games now. It used to be, who was it before him? It was like the poster character for indie.
I don't think it had one.
Oh well, he's definitely it now. Oh, you know what I forgot about the other game. The one, what is it? It's an RPG and actually a bullet hell too.
Undertale?
Yeah, Undertale. That was a huge indie game.
Jesus
Massive
Christ.
indie game.
That game ranged from amazing to, oh my god, make it stop. Because Undertale itself was a good game. The fandom around it?
Trash.
Oh, goodness.
See, now I'm looking up studios to see how many people they have in their studio now.
Because, people would look to the way people like me played it. Like, you didn't play it right.
That's always fun.
Always. Which, that's fine. I mean, I played the game like 6 times over. But, whatever.
They're a publisher. Okay, so who's Dream Drop? Now I'm just looking up. I'm sorry. I'm like on a tangent about like different studios. I'm trying to see what like the sizing of it and try to get like a grasp of like what's really like indie. Okay, you know what? Let me look up Hollow Knight. Let me see when people was on
Team Cherry.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Shout out to Team Cherry for making my favorite game of the decade because I love Hollow Knight and I will fight people over Hollow Knight.
You definitely have like been championing them like all the time
because play Hollow Knight. Like if you guys have been listening to this podcast for any length of time and you haven't played Hollow Knight, I'm a little disappointed and hurt.
I need to finally
play Hollow Knight.
Even though it looks hard though.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a difficult game. It can be very difficult and very trying. That doesn't mean you shouldn't play it.
Should let's experience it.
Yes. Yeah,
I'm putting Falcom as an indie developer because if Iron Galaxy got like more people than them that work for them, they got 62 people. 62 people. 62.
Man, and they are putting out games that are at least 80 hours long.
Yes.
And have been for years.
It's like they've been doing this for a while. I'm just glad they've been catching on, but I don't want them to get to a point where they become a AAA studio and start like doing goofy stuff, and the quality of the games go down.
Levels.
Yeah, I don't want them to do that.
Microtransactions.
Yeah, I don't want them doing that. Just continue to make us full-fledged RPGs with the engine you got. But yeah, indie games, they just exploded. I want more indie fighting games though.
There are some, but there aren't enough.
Yeah.
And we need good ones.
Yeah, we don't need no fight of animals. I'm so over
Whoa.
it. I'm so over it.
Yo.
I'm so over it.
You haven't even played it.
I don't need to. I don't
you
even
know
need
what?
to. I need to look at that.
If
Like,
it
no,
ever comes on PS1, I'm buying it.
I'm not doing it.
Spot. I still need to buy Fight of Gods, but that's going on.
God.
When I think of bad indie fighting games, you know what comes to my mind.
Who?
Omen of Sorrow.
Ooh.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
That was a tough one.
Game was ass.
It's not that great.
It's filth.
I want to play Fantasy Strike, but
Michael
something stopped me. I think the price. Because that game's $30.
Review that nonsense.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
I am. Like, I'm genuinely sorry about that one. I was trying to be like more, because that was one of the things like years ago was like people were saying you should start, reviewing more indie stuff. I was like, you're probably right. But indies wasn't like at a point where it was like viable to what we do. It was like indie stuff that we wouldn't probably play.
Fair enough.
But now we're in a place where like indie has transformed. So
I guess I don't have to play any more of that game.
no, you never have to play a game ever again in your life. Like that's done. That was one and done.
Good.
We should probably like, you should send like them an email. Not them. I mean them as in Team Cherry, since you love them so much.
You're right.
Like, can I come to y'all studio? Just look around.
Don't say that, because I will.
I don't think you, I think you should. Like, I do it. Falcon.
I'm going to now.
If-
I'm about to find. When I get off, I'm finding that contact email, and we're going to chat.
Like, if I got a chance to go to Falcon Studio, man, that's probably the only place I actually want to go. If far
Where
like
is Team Cherry Studios?
I wonder. That's a good question. Do we have anything else to talk about?
One more thing,
Okay.
and it is Pokemon Go.
Oh God, that was probably the most important mobile game besides Angry Birds for last decade. Oh my God.
Look, Pokemon Go
Was
did the impossible for gaming
it got people outside
and socializing.
Yes. Oh my God. It was like, you got Pokemon Go? It even had stupid Hillary Clinton on some Pokemon Go to the polls. I hated that.
And you know what's really messed up about Pokemon Go?
What?
That game was terrible.
It was pretty awful.
It was garbage. It was glitchy. It was shit. It barely worked. The way you had to do things was ass. Some of the Pokestops didn't work. Connection.
Oh my
drops
God,
were
the
frequent.
Pokestops.
But my God, if people didn't stick with it.
People were on it. That game, I mean, it even had the Pokefest.
Even some of the PR was terrible.
Yeah.
Like Pokemon Fest?
Yeah.
Where people can or hacking the game so they can get the exclusive stuff.
Yeah.
And Niantic was just kind of like, ooh. And somehow people are still playing this.
They are.
The head of security at my job is always asking, hey man, you want to get on Pokemon Go? No, I do not. But I appreciate the fact that you are playing Pokemon Go. Good for you. This is not me saying I don't like Pokemon Go. Pokemon Go is fine for what it is. I just prefer the game on Switch. Or, I prefer the base game, not this game.
I need to still play Let's Go Eevee. I still have it wrapped up in no game case.
I mean, that's pretty much Pokemon Go with, some extra frills.
Yeah. Because I'm like a Pokemon plebeian, so I'm like, I don't know about these new ones. Because
Me and Pokemon Go had our time.
Yeah.
And it was fun.
It's like it was a phenomenon. Like, it honestly was a huge deal. Like, that was a big deal.
There were people who would go on dates just to play Pokemon Go.
That was cute. I thought that was cute.
Hell, me and Erica had Pokemon Go shirts for our teams.
Oh,
She was with those filthy mystics.
of course she was.
I was over here with Team Instinct.
Was that the lightning one?
Yes, it was.
That was he doing the dabs and stuff? What's like a lore behind the
So people saw the illustrations of the leaders and were just like, all right, So they're the smart one because no one really knows the gender of the Team Instinct leader. He's the dumb one, and she's the really like powerful one.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of what people rolled with. Yes, he did dab a lot, which I identify with.
He dabs too much.
Dabbing is the one thing that holds us all together as people. People want us to talk about how Death Stranding brings us all together. No. Dabbing.
I was going to say Pokemon Go did, but I mean...
Pokemon Go did for a while. But then, like, people like me kind of just dropped off. But it does have a dedicated fan base still. It's still pretty popular. And I'm sure the game has gotten better. Because now they have things like raids. They have there's some Team Rocket mechanic now. They are like a Generation 3, maybe 4 of Pokemon now. So there's a lot of Pokemon to catch.
Yeah. Pokestops, God.
Yeah, people got in trouble with this game too.
Yeah. People using it as a way to like make money too. They were like making Pokestops. Like, okay, here's some like lemonade stands and Pokestops.
Fun fact: Sprint actually used that very tactic.
Yep.
They were a Pokestop,
Yep.
so people could come in and they could shill their phones.
I remember because I would walk past one on my way to work and there was a Pokestop. I'm like, okay, y'all doing too much.
Yeah, they had a whole advertising. Hey, we're a Pokestop. I was like, yeah, we know. We don't have to step inside though.
Right? they didn't think about that part.
Goofy.
Yeah, Pokemon Go probably did what a lot of other like mobile games want to do, and that's being such a widespread thing where people actually like continuously play it and have like
and made so much money.
Oh God, I made tons and tons of money.
Money.
I think Pokemon Go might be a second biggest mobile game after Angry Birds of last decade. It might even be more, honestly, because Angry Birds was stupid. Like, that was the most annoying thing, and I played it.
I did too. I'm
A lot of people did. You could turn on anything mobile without seeing Angry Birds somewhere.
You right. Angry Birds was just... I mean, what were you going to do, man? When you needed something to do really quick, it was there for you. Let's see. Pokemon Go. Over 100 million downloads, man.
Jesus Christ.
And it's 12 million reviews, and it's sitting at a 4.2. Man. I don't know, man.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's a whole lot. It's like you can't talk about last second without talking about Pokemon Go. Like, that's... You just can't do it. Like, that was a big deal.
It was.
I'm glad it's over, though. I mean, people still play it, but it's nowhere near the same.
Oh, no. It's not nearly the craze it was.
It was a whole craze. Like,
it was all over the news. People were making all types of stories up about people getting beat up and going to the hood about it and stuff. I don't know, man.
It was
a gift and a curse.
Yeah. But it's behind us now. Hopefully no one else does any type of augmented reality type of like game that's that big.
Well,
like,
I mean, fun fact, they tried to catch lightning in the bottle again with Harry Potter, but that didn't take.
Not even a little bit. All right. I think we've got through the decade.
We have.
Did you have anything else you want to talk about really quick before we wrap up? That we may have missed or anything, or
not that I can think of. Just play Hollow Knight.
I am so ready for Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm glad that they announced it. I'm glad it's coming out.
March is gonna be crazy.
March is gonna be stupid. I just know that March is gonna be a month where I'm dedicating all my time and energy to playing that only, and anything else is just gonna have to take a breather because I don't know.
I don't know, man. I know I'm gonna play Final Fantasy VII Remake, but there's also Doom Eternal.
Ooh,
and Persona 5 Royal.
That's a lot for you in 1 month.
It is.
I'm sorry.
That's like $180.
We could go half on Final Fantasy VII Remake. Okay. Like, I'm not pressed to get a physical copy of that game.
Bet. We in there then.
Yeah, because I'd rather just have it on my PS4 and just play it when it comes out versus having to like go to the store anyway.
All right, man. I'm down.
Yeah. Sounds like a good idea. I'm excited about a lot of the games coming out. I'm excited, of course, for Falcom the next 20 years of Falcom.
Of course.
They already said they're gonna do more games, so we're gonna be messing with this story forever. So I'm here though. I'm not going nowhere.
There's always a new threat.
Arabonia must be safe. I need to make sure that
One day.
Do you think they're gonna make announce Street Fighter 6 anytime soon?
Maybe at the end of the year at the next Capcom Cup, which we will do our best to attend.
Yeah, I'm trying my best to do it. I'm like, that's a goal.
We got this, man.
We can do it. I think that's it. I can't think of anything else that was important last decade that needs to be talked about.
Neither can I.
So
I think that's it for the 2010s.
Yeah. Now we're in the roaring 20s again.
Bye. I'm out.
You're out? Okay.
I'm not here for the roaring 20s. I wasn't here for the last one. I'm not going to be here for this one.
Well, you literally weren't here for the last one. You weren't even born yet.
Hey, I heard it was bad. I heard it wasn't that great. Some people liked it more than others for reasons I can't really explain.
What would you say? 5 out of 10 for the roaring 20s the first time around?
Look, man, the first time around, I might have to give it a 3. Give it a 10.
You haven't even experienced this one yet, so how can you can't even say it's gonna be bad.
Hey man, if it's anything like the last one, I'm not gonna want that.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in to this very extended episode of Rushdown Radio, a decade review. Let us know what you thought about the last decade with gaming. Did you love anything that happened? Did you hate most of it? Did you want it to just end already?
Play Hollow Knight. That's the last time I said.
Is that your game of the decade?
Yes.
Wow.
Play Hollow Knight.
All right, guys, you heard it first. Play Hollow Knight. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. We will see you next episode.